Hey, want to find out a fast, easy way to roast a bird? Now, trigger warning, on this episode we will be dealing with raw chicken carcasses. If that's not something that you want to see, we hope that we see you next time. This might be a video that you want to skip. So a little bit of housekeeping. When you're dealing with raw meat, you want to make sure that you wash your hands before you touch anything that you can't throw in the dishwasher, like your partner or your pets. Now, about 24 hours before we get this thing in the oven, we want to do a little bit of seasoning. So we're going to be using a process called dry brining. The idea here is that we're going to separate the skin from the meat, and we're going to apply salt directly onto the meat. The salt will absorb the juices from the chicken, liquefy, and redistribute back into the meat, so it's sort of marinating in its own flavor. You can use your hands or you could use a spoon. Try not to rip the skin, and then pour the salt evenly directly all over the meat. Spread it around, make sure you get around the back, make sure you get in all around the legs, and try to put the skin back the way that you found it. And then you just jam it in the fridge uncovered and leave it overnight. So, roasting time has come. We have the oven set to 450, which is usually frozen supermarket pizza territory, and now we need to get our bird ready. If you thought getting under the chicken's skin was gross, just you wait. So we're going to be butterflying the turkey, which means that we're going to be squishing it flat out so that it spreads out like the wings of a butterfly. Now, the way that we're going to do this, if you flip it over, we want to cut the spine out through here and through here. It's easiest if you have a set of poultry shears, but we don't. I'm afraid to see what you guys come up with in the comment section, but work your knife up one way past the tailbone and along the other way as far as you can reach. Flip the bird over, do the same on the opposite side. And then you should be able to work the backbone out and just set it aside for later. Next up, flip your bird over, palm over the breastbone, squish. You should be able to get it nice and flat and spread it out from here. This is the step where you get to flavor your bird. I'm simply using a pepper rub because I'm just showcasing the technique of how to roast the bird. I'll throw a couple different rub recipes down below, but you could use anything that you find online if it's used to marinate a chicken. Get a deep pan out. I'm gonna roast my neck, you don't have to. Get your tray down. And position your bird so that air will get to everything that it needs to get to. Put your bird in the oven until the meat reaches your local minimum safety temperature. Should be about 40 minutes or so. Alright folks, here's your lovely roast chicken. Now, before you cut into it, you need to give it about 10 to 15 minutes to rest. Normally you'd tent it in aluminum foil, but that seems wasteful when you have a bowl big enough to do the job. So while we're waiting, we gotta figure out the rest of the meal. I strongly suggest some sort of carb and some sort of fiber. With the broccoli, add some salt, add some oil, add some heat. For the potatoes, add some oil, add some heat, and add some salt. When you're carving a bird, you want to use as few knife strokes as possible so that people think that you know what you're doing. Beyond that, you want to separate the leg at the joint and get some breast meat off in as clean of a chunk as possible. And then I like to cut the breast up into nice bite-sized pieces because it's bad hosting to make your guests do the work. Plate everything as Instagram worthy as possible and see if you can get a standing ovation from your guests. Now all that's left to do is to enjoy your perfect roast chicken dinner. As always, if you notice that I did something wrong, or if there's any recipe that you want to see me try, please leave a note in the comments. Otherwise, if you try this out, let me know how it goes. Until next time.